So now that we know that the spine is made up of stuff, and that stuff includes bones, ligaments, muscles, and nervous tissue as well as cartilage. We know that there is blood flow to the spine and that signals travel to the spine and away from the spine. So for now, we're looking at the mechanics of your spine, your movement, and what is actually happening in your body that could lead to the experience of pain. So you might have muscle spasm, muscle weakness, muscle tightness. So yes, muscular origin to your issue. You could have a joint problem. So things like facet joint arthritis, maybe even the cartilaginous joints between the vertebra of the spine, things like disc issues. So there might be a joint problem in the spine where you, without realizing it, are putting pressure on one section of the entire length of spine, and so there's wear and tear there. You could be habitually moving in a certain way, so always sitting on one side of the couch with your arm resting on an armrest and always dumping into one side of your body. Perhaps you drive your car for long periods in a day and you always have a certain sitting posture where one bum cheek is up, or you sit on your wallet, or you lie in the bed in exactly the same position. So you might be experiencing prolonged periods of specific postures that lead to more wear and tear in some areas more than others, or torsion, a twisting action. Or there could be an acute issue where you bent over one day, you did something, you tore something, and now you have this weaker and vulnerable area in your body. So we have chronic habitual patterns of movement that could lead to degeneration and pain, or an acute issue that something was injured and now you're living with it. The body wants to find a way for the least amount of friction, the least amount of effort, and so we default into really naughty postures and bad habits. So the whole reason why rehabilitation and exercise is so good for you is that it forces you to do things that feel novel, that you aren't normally doing, so that you realize that you're not very good at that, so that you can hone in on your weaknesses, identify it, and be motivated to make the changes that are needed to move better and more evenly. So I love how exercise does that. It takes you on this journey of movement where you go, my left is so much weaker than my right. How is that even, how have I not noticed that before? But in this moment, right here, right now, I can feel the discrepancies, and that explains so much about why I battle with X, Y, and Z. So I love that about exercise. It's this exploration, and I say to clients often, we're just information gathering. We're figuring stuff out. And isn't that interesting? Because people will say, why is it so much like this? You say, wow, that's so interesting. At least you've picked up on it now. Don't worry, we can make efforts to make changes to get that right. But what a wonderful privilege to be able to feel it in your body and to recognize the discrepancy. And that, I think, is why continuous movement and curiosity and routine are helpful when it comes to having a life that is full of vitality and longevity. I often say to my clients that the body has hardware and software. And in the hardware, we've got the skeletal system and the muscular system, as well as the organs and circulatory system. And then you've got the software system, which is your neurological system that sends messages and gets things going, whether you're aware of it or whether it's subconscious, or if it happens subconsciously. So when we are trying to look at the spine and problems and pain, we look at those hardware and software systems to fully understand what's happening in your body. We have the mechanical mechanism for pain, i.e. torn cartilage, degeneration, muscular spasm, tears. We have all these things that can lead to and be harmful to the body and lead to the brain saying, we have a problem here, let me send some signals of pain so that you change your behavior. And that's all well and good if it's an acute problem. So you bend over, you hurt yourself, and now you're sore. So now you mustn't do that anymore. Pain, pain, pain. Good. I realize this is bad for me. I'm going to stop. So I'm going to train myself to stop. And so if you have those kinds of responses in the short term, you will stop that poor behavior. But if you do not make the changes that are needed, your body is used to that pain. It hops on the pain highway and it associates that movement with pain. And so you start to form these neural connections and memories of, oh, I've seen this movie before. I know how it ends. I'm going to be sore. And true as Bob, boom, you are sore. So when you have an acute pain reaction and nothing changes about your behavior and you learn to live with it, you actually might not have the torn muscle or the cartilage that's injured, but because you're so used to having the pain, you've befriended the pain, and now the pain remains even well after the healing has happened. And that is when pain becomes chronic. So if you're dealing with a pain that's maybe longer than 3 months, we need to do a lot more than just try and heal the soft tissue. We have to heal the software. So exercise is going to be your number one tool to helping you rewire and change what's firing when and why. And I think that this is really hopeful. So I get excited about being able to share this with you because I'm hopeful that we can make the positive changes that you need to see a much more comfortable existence and to be able to do the work that needs doing. If you realize that long term, there's this version of yourself that doesn't have to have pain by your side all the time. And I'm sure you felt it where you aren't in pain and you're actually quite curious as to if something feels different. I can't put my finger, oh, I'm not in pain. It would be wonderful if you could just leave your pain behind and we can actually deal with improving your strength without it.